How did a student take over the teacher's job? History class was slowly killing me. Not figuratively. I mean, my head hit the desk and I was completely gone before Miss Kendall even finished her first sentence. Then she yelled, and I shot up like I'd been hit with a defibrillator. I looked around, and every single person in that class had their head down too. 23 students, one room, synchronized unconsciousness. I've never seen anything more beautiful in my life. One kid in the back groaned into his sleeve and said, "Miss Kendall, this class is just too boring." The room went quiet, didn't raise her voice, just walked back to her desk, sat down and said, "Fine, figure out the assignment yourselves." Nobody opened a notebook. Nobody said a word. We all just went back to sleep. Second class, same story. Except now Miss Kendall is up at the board talking to a room full of people who are physically present and spiritually absent. She slammed her marker down and the whole class flinched away. That's when Nolan opened his mouth. "Miss Kendall, I just don't think you're made to be a teacher." I stopped breathing. Miss Kendall stared at him for a long time, and then she said, "Okay, come up here and teach it then." She stepped aside and gestured at the board like she was handing him a loaded weapon. Nolan got up. He walked to the front, picked up the marker, and without hesitating, started going through the lesson, except nothing like the way she'd been doing it. He drew a diagram. He made a joke about the textbook being written in a language nobody speaks anymore. He asked the class questions instead of just talking at us. And one by one, I watched heads come up. By the end of the period, the entire class was locked in. People were raising hands who I'd never heard speak before, and the assignment got done without a single complaint. I glanced over at Miss Kendall. She was sitting at her own desk with her arms crossed and her jaw so tight I thought her teeth might crack, watching her class respond to a 16-year-old the way they never once responded to her. Then a kid in the front row laughed and said, "Miss Kendall, maybe we should just replace you." He meant it as a joke. Her entire face shifted in a way that made it clear it was not received as one. We turned everything in and walked out. Next day, I came in early and stopped dead in the doorway. Nolan was at the board, in a full suit, tie, a button-up with no wrinkles. The man had ironed his shirt for history class. I thought it was a bit. I walked to my seat, fully expecting Miss Kendall to come in and shut it down in 30 seconds. She came in, looked at him, looked at her desk, and sat down. Nolan taught the class. He taught it the next day too, and the day after that. Miss Kendall just stopped going to the board entirely. For 2 full weeks, she sat in the back of her own classroom with a coffee cup and dead eyes, while a student in a Macy's clearance tie ran her lesson plan better than she ever had.